So, first and foremost, thank you all for being here today. I am really excited to be able to share what is going to be coming down the line. Those of you who followed me for quite a while, you know that this has been a journey, an evolution. Nothing has really significantly changed, but everything keeps getting a little more refined. And I was able to go to a conference in March here in Mexico City, which was a foresight conference. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with natural foresight, but natural foresight process, the website, if you're interested in checking it out, I'll put it in the chat really quickly for you. tsfx.com. Amazing workshop. Foresight is essentially mapping your future. It is all about being proactive with what you want to create. It is about looking forward. It is about long-term solutions. And it was so amazing. I can't remember the last time I did a conference in person. And while there were only 14 of us, there were 14 of us from Brazil, different parts of Mexico, the US, Colombia. Then there were ages from 25 to 75 in the room in that like span of 14 people. And the leaders of the group started with Disney. And so it was really started in the Futures program at Disney. And this is something they now do all over the world. And this is something that really inspired me to be able to design what I'm doing now. Oh, is that link not working for it? TSFX.com. Let me see if I got it wrong. TSFX. Oh, hold on. Did I put TSFX? Consider it dyslexic. TFSX. If it makes you feel better, I often spell my last name SEFL. So, it happens. I switch those letters around. So, thank you guys for coming today. I actually would love for you to take a moment before we get started. And I would love to know what being a part of a community means to you. What is the benefit of being part of a community? If you want to write down a couple of notes, go ahead and write that down. And I'm going to throw you into a breakout room in just a few moments so that you could share with the person that you join with. What is the benefit of being in community? How does it serve you? How does it serve others? Now, hopefully for those of you who have your cameras off, if you can just let me know in the chat that you're able and willing to participate in a breakout room, I would greatly appreciate it. So I want to make sure I'm not throwing someone in somewhere that essentially has no partner to share with. All right, good. Thank you, Robbie. Appreciate that. Great. Great, 3 breakout rooms. Everyone can stay off camera. That's fine. Oops. I think we just lost someone. Great. All right. I'm going to go ahead and break you guys out into a room, and I want you to take about 3 minutes. I know it's going to go rapid, but I want you to take about 3 minutes to share with each other what's important about being in a community and being here right now to hear about the future. So I'm going to open the rooms and it'll jump you in, and you will have about 30 seconds warning before you come back. And I'll see you back here in just a moment. Hey, Tiffany. I'm just throwing people into breakout rooms really quickly to talk about what's important about being in community. Are you willing to join and share? with a group?
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, awesome. I will move you in to share with Susan. Thank you. Hey, Cheryl.
Hey,
Lovely to see you. Hey, Phil, welcome back. I just opened some breakout rooms, but instead of putting you guys into a breakout room, I'm just going to keep you here just in the interest of
sorry.
timing. Oh, no, 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 that's okay. It's a very quick, brief icebreaker share. If you're both willing to just share in here with me, that would be great. No problem if you stay off camera. I don't mind. I know we have different spaces. So what is important about being in community for you? What are the positive benefits of being in community?
I learned so much more.
Awesome. I love that.
I
You
think,
learn so much more.
hello, this is Phil. How are you?
Well, Phil, how are you? Welcome.
Thank you. I apologize a little bit. I'm driving. I've had a friend have a medical situation I need to visit it, so I'm
no.
but I am driving. So, but I go back to what Don Clifton said. No one grows and gets better until another human being cares. And I think when we belong to communities and have relationships, we all grow and develop much better. So that's my take.
I absolutely love that. And that's going to fit so well in with us today. That's fantastic. So we have probably just a couple of minutes with the breakout rooms because it's a very fast one, but anything that brought you here in particular today? I'm going to put what you said in the chat as well. And Cheryl, I'm going to share yours if you don't mind.
Sure.
If I paraphrase, feel free to correct me. I mean,
yeah.
we'll talk.
To answer that question, brought me here is that with something that just seems obvious to me, the benefits of strengths, how few people really embrace it.
Right. Right.
So I look for those, this may not be the right term, so I look for those unicorns out there like, yeah, make me feel like I haven't lost my mind.
Oh, yay. Good. You're going to be in a room full of unicorns today, I think.
You know, I think anything I can do to help promote strengths, I think is critical.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, that is what we are going to be doing today. Welcome back.
My focus.
You're breaking up a little bit, Phil. I know you're driving. Oh, we may lose Phil for a second.
Yeah,
Hopefully
I'm
Phil
driving.
Oh, there we go.
I'm driving over Eastern Kentucky. I may have to get off in just a little bit. One of my questions was, are you going to record this webinar so maybe I could do it? Because I truly am interested to hearing the perspective of other okay.
Yes,
again,
I will be
when
recording.
I read
So if I lose you,
I didn't realize
no worries. You're in my home state of Kentucky, and I know what Eastern Kentucky is like. So I imagine we're gonna lose you a little bit out there in the hills.
I would not have signed up but this was kind of unexpected, so I apologize.
No worries. Hang out for as long as you can. We're happy to have you. Thank you for joining in spite of the circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you. I would be interested in hearing the top 5 strengths of you and the other lady that I saw in the picture that spoke up.
Cheryl, what's your top 5?
My top 5? Or
yeah, Phil, what's yours? No, go ahead, Phil. Share yours. Cheryl's looking at hers.
Yeah. My top 5 are strategic, input, developer, arranger, and communication.
Beautiful, beautiful. Mine are strategic, activator, maximizer, communication, ideation.
Oh, wow. A lot of influencing themes. Ooh.
Oh yeah, got two more in there as well. The top 10.
Yeah.
Cheryl, what are yours?
Self-assurance, individualization, relator, learner, and arranger.
Awesome.
Wow.
So you guys had a chance to share. Anybody care to share a thought, something special that connected the two of you? Something you had in common, something that was completely different? Who wants to share real quick before we start up the presentation?
Oh, I always like to be around those who have that theme called a ranger, because they understand that my flexibility is really around effectiveness, not just changing my mind. And to have self-assurance and a ranger, know where you're going. But I'm assuming with that arranger, you not afraid to change paths, but pretty certain of where you're going.
Absolutely. Awesome. And he also shared Don Clifton's phrase of no one grows and gets better until someone cares, which I thought was really lovely. Who else would like to share? I know Marcus can't, his microphone is off. Pat, you want to share what you guys?
David and I noticed that we shared, I don't know, I think 6 talent themes in our top 10. So that's kind of cool. And it was strategic and ideation. So it's just interesting. I wonder how many people here have those strategic, you draw in strategic people, is my curiosity. I said that we were better together with brainstorming and feedback to support each other. And David was talking about kind of authentic connection and building trust with people, which I wondered, like, I have woo. So I was like, I'm already like, I'm up for like just being authentic and building trust immediately is my go-to. So I thought it was interesting that, yeah, that he kind of looks at that.
Yeah, I love that as well. Anyone else care to share real quick? Tiffany or Rhonda?
Well, we had just a very few minutes, but we talked a little bit about the value of community and providing support and encouragement, and generally, positive things. Sometimes you need to fill in for family when they're if that's not available to us. And also a little bit about community can tell us the truth when we need it.
I love that.
Because they can see us more objectively than we see ourselves. So that's mainly what we talked about.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Well, thank you guys for doing that. Since what we're here today is really to talk about community overall, and there's a few different ways. Now, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And yes, I'm trying a whole new way of doing this today. So if anything goes a little wonky, I apologize. Part of the big experiment, one of my quotes on my Facebook page is, all life is an experiment. The more experiments, the better. My activator just happens to do it, live. So we can all find out if it works or not. But I always kind of miss sort of seeing everyone and having you see me when I'm talking. So we're going to, where are you? There we go. New feature in Zoom. You can still see me. And I'll try not to block anything. So I'll make sure I move myself around a little bit too, because this is really cool. I can move myself over here and still talk, so you can still see the slide. So really, you guys, thank you so much for being here today. As I started talking at the beginning, a lot of this inspiration and refining idea came from attending this Foresight conference just in March. And it was so beautiful, so inspiring, and so emotional for me. I absolutely was in tears half the time, just for the gratitude that I had to be in a room with people who thought like I did. There's something so beautiful to share a desire, a wish, a vision, a mission, and have other people that can do that with you, whether we're doing it in the same space or different spaces. However we're approaching it, the fact that we have this thread that links us all, I think is so important. Now, I do have futuristic as a talent. It's number 12. It's my absolute last dominant talent. But I always say that it's the road that I drive on. I am always looking forward. I am always moving forward. This is the most important thing for me to do, and how we can do this intentionally. My strategic, my ideation, my activator, my arranger wants to do the best thing. My connectedness, my woo wants to do it with others, because there's nothing better than everybody putting in their grain of sand. And so this is all about practical strengths and what practical strengths is growing to be. You know it as a book series. Some of you are members of the community. There's been the Practical Strengths Mastery Network, which is going to be shortened to just the Practical Strengths membership. It was a mouthful, let's be honest. But at the end of the day, Practical Strengths is an idea, it's a resource, and it's a community, right? So my vision for this is, many of you know that I am on a mission to teach these 34 talents as a second language. I want strengths to be part of our everyday vocabulary, our everyday lexicon. So when people hear someone and they say, oh, she has analytical, that means she's going to need proof and she's probably going to ask me a lot of questions. And you sort of just go in with an entirely different attitude to a conversation, to a relationship, to an interaction. Do that. I am so excited for some of the things that are coming. We are going to talk a little bit about this vision. So this vision is going to incorporate all of these elements that I'm going to be sharing with you. This is a little bit of a brain dump. It might be a little overwhelming. Please throw your questions in the chat. Feel free to take yourself off mute and ask me a question in the moment. Raise your hand. If you raise your hand on the reactions, it will actually, if you raise your hands on the reactions, it'll actually pop you up to the screen. So I'll see you and know that you have a question to ask, and I will take a pause. My communication doesn't always pause as much as I would like to, and I'm trying to practice the pause so that you may all step in with your own thoughts and ideas. But I am really driven to create a community, to create a space where those of us who love strengths, whether we are professionals or we are enthusiasts and just people who find the tool fascinating for our own personal development, to have an opportunity to do that the best way we possibly can. I believe in democratizing coaching. I believe in accessibility. I believe in making money for everyone. To me, a rising tide lifts all ships. I don't see any of us competitors. I see us as collaborators. And to me, that is the most amazing space we can be in. So as we move through this, one of the things I offer in the membership and what I offer in general, training and certifications. Practical Strengths is on the way to becoming a full-fledged organization. I will be building out a nonprofit as well to help offset the cost of the assessment for underserved and economically challenged communities. That is shaping up. We're still in the seeding process of that, so it's not there yet, but it is going to happen. But the training and certifications are open to everyone. Everything I do is open to everyone. When you are a member, you just have special benefits to what I offer. And so with the training and certification, we have the first and foremost is my foundational program, which is the Language of You. Many of you have taken the Language of You. The Language of You is about personal branding. It is a deep dive into claiming your talents. It is not just about self-awareness. It is about self-acceptance and not saying just my talents are awesome, but saying I am awesome. And this is a program that I've been doing since 2015. It is available to anyone, and anyone who takes this. This is where I start with any coachee that I have. This is the program I do. But anyone who does this program with me also has the right to use the materials for themselves. However, certifications are a membership benefit, but anyone is welcome to use these as a training. The next one is Strengths as a Second Language. Strengths as a Second Language is a program that was introduced last year. We have now run it, I think, 4 times, and we've run the second level officially once and 2 pilot trainings. It is a 2-level, roughly 13-hour program that teaches you strengths. It teaches you patterns, how to better talent spot. It teaches you the dynamics in certain talents. It also helps differentiate talents, like why is strategic different than ideation is different than arranger. There is a thread that pulls them together, but there is also a difference, and it's understanding those nuances which really make us powerful coaches. The next key program is the Speakeasy Lab. The Speakeasy Lab is basically a mini communications course. It is 2 workshops to help you work with teams through doing better communication. This is part of the communication styles full book certification as well, but the Speakeasy Lab is kind of the mini version of this, which just includes the workshops and not diving into the actual communication styles of each talent. And then if you take those 3, we put them together and we create a roadmap for organizational champions. I have a real soft spot for startups, smaller, medium-sized organizations in higher education or educational institutes in general, where budgets are often a little bit lower and challenging for them to hire outside consultants for a long-term basis. And so this roadmap actually trains internal champions so that they are able to build a strengths culture in the best way that works for them while receiving continuing support. I am not going into a lot of detail on these programs. If you're interested in more detail, I'm happy to talk offline or answer questions here. Because really this could be a webinar in and of itself on almost any one of these programs. So this is really just giving you the highlights of what we do. And then the last certification is in the practical strengths books. The practical strengths books right now, the certifications that are and will be available this year is communication styles, which we have our first communication styles training starting next Friday. There are still a couple of spots available if you'd like to join. Again, we can talk about that as well. We'll also be doing the career success book later this summer. That will be launched in late July, early August. And we'll be doing communication styles again in October. So you can kind of start looking at saving the dates. These are usually run on Fridays, and the training sessions run for roughly 4 hours a piece for 3 weeks. Trying to think of the easiest way to fit all the information in without being too overwhelming for everyone, but give you a lot of value when you do it. Any questions around these programs specifically at the moment? Is everything clear? Okay. So the next, I'm sorry, you guys, I have a sweat bee that just won't leave me alone.
Do you?
So if you see me grabbing at the air, that's why.
Have to do them, question mark. Do you need a Facebook Live to go over this, question mark?
So, okay. Are some of them part of the membership? Patch. Yes, I'm going to go back a slide. So these programs, you can be trained on any of these programs to be officially certified, receive a badge of certification, and have 100% of the materials and continued support. You do need to be a member at the minimum $25 a month level. That I will cover in a moment, what the different levels are and what's included. But trainings are open to anyone, whether you're a member or not. If you're not a member, the price is higher and most often will include 3 to 6 months of membership as a trial period so that you can see the value, because you're not just paying $25 a month for the certification and the right to say you're certified. You actually get continuing education and support in the process as well. So there's a lot more that goes with that. Thanks for that question. And Jay, I think you had a question too. You said something about Facebook Live. Okay. If it comes up again, feel free to throw it in the chat or ask me. So programs, content, and services. Additionally, what I can help you with, what you would have access to potentially, depending on your membership level, is I have tons of workshops and events already created that you are welcome to use some of them, use them as a base, rebrand them. My maximizer hates for anyone to start from scratch. So I have worked with a lot of coaches where I have a general strengths discovery workshop that's a 4-hour workshop. I include a lot of sources with that for a very small fee. You can pay for the base of that. I can help you rebrand it. I can help you redesign it so that it's personalized for you. But that way you don't have to do it on your own. I've created a new high impact workshop, which really kind of flips the discovery workshop on its head. It's a 3-part workshop that's pretty impressive for results in getting emotional engagement quickly with a team or a community. I will be doing a webinar specifically on this in the very near future if you're interested in learning more about that. I have a presentation that is about 20 minutes, which is my keynote, which is why strengths. So when you have a group that you want to present strengths to, but they haven't taken the assessment yet, this is one way to get the buy-in and help them understand what's so important about it. Again, I highly recommend personalizing it to some of your own stories, but at least it's a base for you to start and get people excited. So it becomes that sort of TED Talk in your pocket to get buy-in. I will be also offering more targeted masterminds. We just recently, or I'm in the process of running one on the changes cards. I have one for 8 elephants, which is helping to build your business structure. We'll be creating other masterminds along the way. I have drop in, drop out masterminds, which are basically one-time masterminds where if you just need a quick infusion for ideas or support from your peers, we do those frequently. And then something I'll be talking about a little bit later is the Future of Strengths Forum. And this I am super excited about. It's going to be launching in September, the 13th and 14th. So mark your calendars, but I will talk about that a little bit later. And the community building workshop, what do I mean by it flips it on its head? I do it a little bit backwards. I do things that you wouldn't normally do in a strengths discovery workshop, which is 4 hours long. This is actually almost like the second half of my 4-hour workshop. A piece of that, because that's the part where people go, oh my God, this is awesome. And so it's really a 3-part piece that can be done with teams or leadership, or it can even be done to bring a group of people together that maybe inhabit the same space, but don't typically work together as a team. I start with the best of me, and I start with the best of me, which is one that it's slightly altered from E to Grow. And I do it organically. So they've probably just taken their assessment. We don't line up the best of me to your strengths. We just have you do it based on how well you know yourself. And then that's a second workshop where you can bring the best of me back and say, great, now that you know your talents, revisit your best of me. What do you notice? What talents are being fed? What talents are being frustrated? What do you love? What do you need? Right? So it gives you an opportunity to try that twice. Then I do a team summary. Some of you have seen me do a team summary where I walk through all of the strengths of the team in sort of a genius and barrier format. And then the third part is aiming it at something very specific. When I recently did this with a startup team, it was aimed at building a sales team, building a sales funnel and process with their team where they already were. And it went brilliantly, right? So it does give a quick aim, but it gives them a way to see the impact strengths can have in a very quick, accelerated way. And that team summary really emotionally engages people because they start to identify with each of their talents. So it sounds terribly unhumble to say that it's brilliant, but honestly, it's had a really significant impact. And a couple people went through when I was piloting this, so I've done it, but it's becoming a thing and I really enjoy it.
Joe, I apologize.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to leave the meeting. This is Phil. I apologize to you and to the group too, because I find it very interesting, but I need to leave the meeting due to a situation that's come up. But make sure that you email me the recording or your contact information. I would like to further look at this. My I guess focus is on leadership, growth, and development. That's
excellent. I'd be happy to have a conversation, and I'll be sure to get the recording out. Thank you, Phil.
I apologize to the group, and have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. So then we have content. So what does this mean by content? There are lots of resources. So one, for continuing education, I offer at least 2 webinars a month. For April, I'm doing 4, all focused on AI and how it can help us with our businesses and our coaching styles. So far, they've been really enjoyable. We've learned quite a lot. Marcus has been to a couple of them. If you want to share your experiences with the webinars, he's a frequent attendee and has been doing the AI ones. I also have podcasts, which I'm currently translating into a YouTube, but I did 2 years of 1-minute podcasts. And so at certain levels, you'll have access to those podcast scripts, which is 500 pages of strengths information that you can, again, use as a base, build your own podcast, build your own ideas off of it. I'm building video libraries, especially for the certifications. You'll have private video libraries where you can go in to share with your clients and have specified learning for each of the talents in the certification processes for each of the books. I have the 8 Elephants book, which is Succeeding in Business One Bite at a Time, which also has a journal. We'll be building masterminds off of that, but it's also a very low cost, $17 for the whole package, which are videos, workbook, and ebook to help you figure out the 8 elephants you need to eat to get your business going in the right direction. Constantly creating workbooks. So any trainees I have that have workbooks or anything, you have access to those workbooks. Again, a lot of white label style materials. And of course, the practical strengths books, which there are 3 currently in print, 3 more that are on the way, and will probably be 12 when it's all said and done at the end of the day. And then, just move my little head over here. And then services. So how can I help you? I love being a strategic thought partner for other coaches. So being a thought partner, an ideation partner. I love doing program design. I love doing graphic design. A lot of coaches I work with actually just want to walk through what a 4-hour workshop looks like around any topic. It doesn't even have to be strengths oriented necessarily, but I can help design the program with you. I can help you design the PowerPoint so that you have spectacular slides that show you as amazing as you really are. Nothing hurts my feelings more than an amazing coach with a horrible presentation. It really hurts my feelings. So I want to make sure that you are represented in the best way possible. And then of course, coaching. Right. I also can put on the coach's hat, but with my strategic, my ideation, my arranger, I tend to work very actively and collaboratively with coaches, but I can put on a coaching hat as well to serve you in that space. So any other questions, queries, doubts on programs, content, and services that are available? So the books, cost. I will get into cost in a little bit. We're going to look at the memberships first, and then I'll go over the cost. Thank you. So the books. So with the training and certification, we've talked about this. So this is what's down the pipeline. There's not going to be a training specifically on the parenting book because we're going to do career success and communication styles. As I mentioned, communication styles is coming up next week on the 26th. We start. There is still a couple of spaces available if you'd like. I am offering a special price that is, since it is the launch of the communication of the practical strengths certifications. So it's actually $11.97, which includes 6 months of champion level membership for the time, so you can determine if you want to stay a part of it as well. You can actually reserve your spot with just a 30% down payment, and then you can make up to 3 payments in order to do that, since I know it's short notice. So if you do want to do that, please be sure to contact me after this. And then the reason we're not doing parenting is because eventually we will have the family and education book coming out, and that is kind of a 2.0 version. So this training will actually be around family and education, which will cover parents and teachers. So anybody in the education space, anyone working with children really. And we have relationships and conflict management. So those will be coming out soon. And down the pipeline, we have health and wellness, grief and resilience, habits and goals, inner compass. Who knows? You have an idea and you want to work on a book with me? That's an option too. I love to write. I have a lot to say. I love to create. Well, I like to create. I love to co-create. That is one of the things I love to do, right? So being able to work with content experts is one of the benefits of writing these books and having a partnership as I do it. So that brings us to the community piece. The community piece is really based in initially building community through the Practical Strengths membership. But it is also just how do we start building community through strengths? And for me, that means raising curiosity, getting people curious. When you start to talk to them about their strengths, they go, oh my gosh, yes, that's so me. Or, oh, that sounds like my husband. Or, oh man, that must be my daughter. She does that all the time, right? So you get that curiosity of seeing people through a different filter, a different lens. And when we do that, we start to build connection. We build a real, meaningful, authentic connection. And we start to deepen understanding. We have an objective viewpoint of not only ourselves, but of others. And so this is the membership levels as they stand right now. For those of you who are already members, you will notice there is a slight change to what is offered and how I am structuring this. I want to go more into a Patreon style membership. It will still be run through payments on PayPal. Your payments eventually will be tax deductible as a donation towards the nonprofit space. But for the moment, they are still tax deductible, but as a business expense. So this is something that is tax deductible for you. And because I love to create and where I show up best, my strategic ideation, my creativity is on fire all the time. And unfortunately, when I'm working with a large number of clients, it can restrict my ability to write the books, to create the videos, to create all of these amazing sources that can help empower you and impact your practices and what you do. So I'm looking a little bit more of a Patreon to help support the creative and content generation portion of what I love to do. So anywhere from $5 to $20, you can name your price. It can be a one-time payment, really, if you would like just to make a donation. But if you choose the monthly at even $5 a month, you have webinars are always open to the public, but recordings and materials used are only shared with members. And so there's a closed Google Drive. I've just set up Google Workspace. So we're moving everything for Practical Strengths over to its own personal drive. I'm making some strides forward with all of this. And you get a 10% discount on any events, programs, services that have a charge. So that is the benefit of joining at the patron level. When you join as a champion, which is what the levels are right now, there are supporters, advocates, and angels. So you can become a champion at either the $25, $45, or $65 level. So it's choose your price, but the benefits are essentially the same for any one of those price levels. You only need to be a member at the $25 level in order to maintain a certification, should you choose a certification path. You get 15-minute laser coaching once a month. You have a personal link where you can sign up to just, hey, I've got a quick problem. I need to chat. Here's a 15-minute laser coaching. It says one per month. Honestly, you do too. I'm never going to nope, you're paying me for these 15 minutes. It's just not how I work. You can have a WhatsApp if you want to shoot me a question. You get a 20% discount on all programs and services. The option for official certification on programs. Masterminds often have a charge. They're usually a low charge, like $100 to $200 for a mastermind, depending on how long I run them. So you'll have discounted mastermind opportunities and always exclusive VIP offers. So every now and again, I decide I'm going to give you a special offer and that'll go out to my champions. You get priority registration and access. So any events, any certifications I'm opening up, you have 48 hours before it ever goes public to reserve your space. So you always reserve a priority. And at the $65 level, you also get a quarterly one-on-one session. So you'll have a link to sign those up. Now, what I am offering right now, because what I need to do to get started goes a little above and beyond what my normal monthly income is I am offering an investor level. And this investor level is a one-time payment of $2,500. I am limiting this to 5 people. But the benefits, and the reason I'm calling this an investor level, is because you get all of the patron and champion benefits, plus you will get full access to my resource library. Champions will have limited access to the resource library. Investors will have full access. The asterisk next to that means unless it's used in a certification course, but anything else, as long as it's not part of one of the practical strength certifications, you have access to. You get a lifetime membership to Practical Strengths. You get your quarterly one-on-one session. You get a 35% discount on programs and events. When there are paid events, such as the Virtual Strengths Forum, which we're going to be talking about, you will get 2-for-1 entry, so you can invite a guest. You will also be offered affiliate links, so any promotion you do of any events or certifications, you have the option to earn some revenue. And you will get any mastermind participation for free. And that is lifetime benefit right there. And then a 1-year bonus. So for the first year you are a member, you get an additional 6 hours of coaching, which you can book in 30 or 60-minute sessions. That's a value of $900. And you can get 1 free practical strengths training. So meaning one of the book trainings, the strengths as a second language, any one of the certifications you would like to do and haven't done. An average cost is roughly $1,000 for that. So that is your first year bonus by becoming an investor at the $2,500 limit. I am leaving that open until the 19th of May as an option. If you are interested in that, please reach out to me directly so that we can chat about that in further depth. If it's something that you think you'd like to do, but you're not quite ready to do, this is something I may offer on an annual basis. This might be a one-time only offer. So if you're interested, please be sure to reach out to me. Do you have questions on any of the membership levels, what it includes?
Joe, you probably explained this, but can you connect the dots to the slide 2 slides back, the classes, like, is that part of this membership?
Yes. So as a membership, that's where you get the certifications are on those programs. And when I talk about services, content, libraries, resources,
Got that one.
this is what I'm talking about. And then the other programs.
So these are all part of the membership.
Some of this is, I mean, this is open to almost anyone, but there are extra benefits. So not everybody gets access to my resource library, right? But if you call me, if you're a member and you're like, hey, Joe, I really need a proposal, there's going to be a folder out there with a couple of different proposal templates that you'll get to access that you can go in and say, oh, this is how I use this, right? And that's going to be perpetually growing. I'm in the process of sort of moving everything over to OneDrive. But right now, if you were to say, hey, Joe, I really need this, or do you have a PowerPoint on that? Or can I, that's going to be a benefit for you, right? So there'll be things out there for you to do. So I'm going to move my little head so you can see. If you would like to screenshot this, sure, I'm not covering the QR codes in any way. If you'd like to screenshot this, if you'd like to use your phone and do this, please feel free. I would love for you, if you are interested in any of these certifications, you want to talk more about the membership, you want to be on the wait list to make sure that you are included in information when it becomes available and things are launched that have limited attendance or are coming down the line, like the Virtual Strengths Forum, then please use this QR code here on the left, the purple one, to sign up through Google Forms and leave a little information for you. If you want to join my email list and you're not on it yet, you can also let me know that you want to join the general email list through that form. And then this is for the Practical Strengths membership specifically. So if you're interested in joining or changing your level, use this. As I mentioned, if you're interested in the investor level, please reach out to me personally to coordinate that. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now. Says I have one more second. Here's my information also, if you would like to screenshot that really quickly, where you can find everything, where you can find me. Give you a moment to do that. And then I want to talk to you a little bit about the Strengths Forum that's coming up, which again, there'll be a bigger webinar on that later, but since you're here, I want to share that with you since it's a part of the big mission and how this all starts coming together. So the virtual forum, and I'll do this quickly so we can answer questions if you have them as well. If you have a question and I don't get to it or you have to run, please feel free to throw it in the chat and I will make sure to get back to you personally as well. Virtual Strengths Forum is going to be launched. It's the Future of Strengths, September 13th and 14th. We will have morning times and late and early evening times so that we can accommodate as many time zones as possible and interest as possible. We had our first planning session yesterday. It went so incredibly well. I'm so excited about this. And it's going to be combining foresight tools with creating collaborative spaces for coaches to come together and say, and it's really aimed at independent coaches as well as the novice path. So people who are just interested in personal development, interested in strengths, and just want to educate themselves more. There'll be 2 tracks for people to follow. We will have pods in August where coaches come together in a specific space. We are looking really at more personal spaces, things such as education, relationships, family, trauma rehab space, neurodivergence and mental health space. So we're going to be looking at a lot of really personal spaces, a little bit of the workspace, conscious leadership, community leadership will be one of the areas we probably tackle. But once you sign up for the wait list, we will be asking you eventually a little bit more, like if you're interested in a particular area, would you like to participate in the pod? Pricing will have a novice pricing path, a professionals pricing path, and then a full package, which will include the pods. And if you're involved in a pod, again, this will be developed in a webinar in the near future. If you're in a pod, that's where a group of coaches who are interested in the same space will come together using Foresight's tools to create a meaningful, actionable path towards what it looks like to use strengths in the next 5 years in that space. I'm really excited about this. September 14th happens to be the day that Don Clifton passed away. His number 1 talent was significance. His number 2 talent was futuristic. And so this Future of Strengths is really honoring Don Clifton's legacy and making sure that we have the impact that we all desire and that Don Clifton had dreamed of. So with that, I'm going to turn everything back over to you and answer any questions you may have, hear your comments. What do you think? Does this sound crazy, great, inspiring? Like a lot? Hey, I'm going to turn off the recording now because sometimes I know that people, yes, you're going to be in pods just like whales, Tiffany. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording. Thank you guys for your time. If you have an additional question, please feel free to throw it in the chat. I'm going to hang out here. I want to respect your time. If you need to leave, please feel free to, no hard feelings. But I will also stick around for any questions you have, but prefer to ask off camera.